Okay, now as I was saying, all right, I really would like for you to pull up and let's double check the odds real quick. All right. Now, number 25. All right, the reason why that was supposed to be super easy for you because it's already set equal to 0 and it's already factored. So in this case, we're just doing 2x minus 5 equals 0, 3x minus 1 equals 0. So here I say x is equal to 5 halves or x is equal to 1/3.
Is it
Okay.
negative 5? Oh, wait, today.
Yes.
So if it has like a positive and then a negative, would it be negative 5/3?
I mean, if this right here, if the 5 was a positive, then it would be negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're moving the 5 over. You with me? So whatever it is, all right. And again, that's like from the first week of school we started doing that, right? You've been solving two-step equations since 6th grade, so everybody should be able to look at that and give me the right answer. But if you can't, I will help you fix that little problem. All right, any questions? Okay, so let's look at 27. For 27, that should have been an easy one to factor. All right, so everybody should be able to just say that it was x minus 9 and x plus 2. And then from there, you're going to set the factors equal to 0. So x minus 9 is equal to 0, x plus 2 equals 0, so x is either 9 or x is negative 2. All right? Now, 29. X squared minus 25 is 0. So, again, we're just factoring x plus 5 times x minus 5. And so x plus 5 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. Negative 5 or positive 5. Now, in the future, we're not going to write it like that. We're going to write it like this, though. Guys, here's how you're supposed to write it. X equals plus or minus 5. That's how I'd like for you to look at it. All right? X equals plus or minus 5. So far, anybody have any problems? All right, here we go for question number 31. All right, now here's what you should be thinking because you've done so many factoring problems now. This is what it should be. Now, what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to highlight the 4 and I want everybody to highlight the 9. And when you highlight the 4 and you highlight the 9, you're supposed to recognize right off the bat that that is in fact what?
13.
That is in fact 13. Does everybody see that? All right. So if that's 13, you're not breaking 4x squared into 2x and 2x. You're just making it what? 4x and x. That's where you're supposed to be at now. Now, 9 we don't break to 3 and 3. 9 goes here, 1 goes here because that's giving me the 9 and the 4, which makes 13 if they're both negative. Is everybody with me on this? All right. So now we're saying what? 4x minus 9 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. So x is equal to 9/4 or 1. You all right with that, Connor? All right. 33. Now here's where we have to say it's not equal to 0. So it's not equal to 0. We have to make it equal to 0. All right. So to set it equal to 0, we simply take the 6 and we move the 6 over. So it's positive 6 on the right. So on the left, it's going to be what? So it's going to be 2x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. And now it should be easy to factor. All right, that is correct. 2x and x. 3 has to go where? And 2 goes on the... So now I have 3 and 4.
Oh, wait, positive 4.
Right. So now we're just saying 2x minus 3 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. So x is equal to 3 over 2 or negative 2. Negative 2. Everybody good? Yes, sir.
On the test, if you just put x equals over 2, you mark it wrong.
No. Because again, listen, I remember, I once I get to here, for me, I just write my answer. Right? Because I mean, we've been doing that stuff here just so long, it's boring. Right? So I want you to be able to go from here to here, but I also don't want you to make any mistakes. So if you're prone to making careless mistakes on a test, you should write things down more, not less, because the goal was to make 100. All right? On 35. Now again, I'm really trying to show you how you should be seeing things. All right? So listen to my explanation on 35. All right? Now, this number is kind of big, 35. Everybody with me? Right? So I'm thinking 8. All right? Probably going to use 8 because I needed to get up to 35. But let's see if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm looking at 4x and 3x, right? Now, the reason why I knew it wasn't 4 or 2 because there's no place for 4 or 2 to go, right? So then it had to be 8 and 1. So 8 then would have to go where? On the right side. And now look, 32 and 3 makes 35 if they're both negative. And then equals 0. So now here's what Julian is asking me. And here is what I want everybody to be able to do. Does everybody agree if I'm solving 4x minus 1, it's just x equals what? 1/4. Or x is equal to what? 8/3. That's what he was asking me. I think that's the way everybody should do it. That's the way everybody should do it. All right? Some of you put down 4x minus 1 equals 0, and I'm happy with that. 3x minus 8 equals 0. All right, but when you get more advanced, you don't have to write all that little step out. All right? All right, here we go. 37. This one is the hard one. What? Yeah, now listen. The reason why this one's hard is because it's not equal to 0, so I just can't move this over. The reason why I can't move that over yet is because this is what? Multiplication. So why is this hard? Because I have to multiply, then add, then refactor, then solve. It seems like there's a lot of work involved here. But I want everybody up there, look, I'm expecting you guys to do this. Here's what I'm asking you. Look up and see if you can do this. All right, I'm asking you, if you multiply that out, you should be able to look at that and say that that is x squared plus 5x and then minus 24 equals negative 30. Everybody should be able to do that. All right? Because you recognize, or you're supposed to recognize, that pattern. The negative 3 and the positive 8 makes positive 5. And then, of course, x times x is easy, and negative 3 times positive 8 is easy. Is everybody good? And now, what can I do to the negative 30? You move it over. All right? And when I add that, that now just becomes x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And now you have to do what? Now you're factoring. All right, which everybody should just be able to say we've done this a million times. So that should be no problem. And then x is equal to what? Negative 3, or x is equal to negative 2.
How did you get 6?
Negative 24 plus 30.
Okay.
Right? So I had to add 30 to both sides, just in case.
Oh.
You're adding 30. Because it's a quadratic, set it equal to 0. Hanson? Is all making sense?
Yes.
All right, does anybody have any questions on this particular problem? All right, that's really, honestly, one of the hardest problems. If you're going, wow, I think I got that, then I think you're going to do fine. All right, here we go. What's that? Yeah, there's some. Yeah, somebody used them all.
How did you get 5x?
Because we multiplied these two things together. One of them's negative 3x and the other one's 8x. So together, that makes 5x.
So could you do that on all of them? Just like you did that. So
But all of
equals 0.
yes, this one is different because it's not equal to 0. It's equal to negative 30. And there is no rule for when it equals negative 30. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do another one of those. All right, so here we go. So that's the end of that. Now, the same principle, I want everybody to look at 38. All right, same exact principle. Is it set equal to 0? No, so now I have to multiply. Come on. So what would it be? Go ahead. Good, and then what? Plus 1x. Now, a lot of kids struggled in last class trying to set that equal to 0. Come on, don't struggle with that. What would it be? Go ahead.
Wouldn't that just be 4x squared?
Absolutely not. All right, there's a 1 there. What am I doing to that 1x squared?
Sorry, 2x.
Yes, there you go. Subtracting 1x squared. If I subtract 1x squared, it's 3x squared minus 1x squared, which everybody's telling me now is 2x squared.
Plus 1x.
Plus 1x. And then,
Minus 6.
thank you. Come on now. All right, study hard for 2 days. Equals 0.
Wait, this was wrong.
I'm listening, quick.
How did you get 2x squared?
3x squared minus 1x squared.
Is it x squared and 1/3?
No. I'm asking you what 3 minus 1 is.
Yeah, it's 2.
2x squared. If I have 3 pencils and I take 1 pencil away, I'm not left with the number 2.
No, but then you have x squared minus x squared.
Here's what you're having trouble with. 3x squared minus 1x squared. What is that?
But wouldn't it just be 2?
No. Or I would have written just 2. I'm telling you, listen to me one more time. Very important. 3 is the number in front of the x squared. That tells you how many x squareds there are. The number 3 says, hey, I have 3 of these. And I'm subtracting 1. So I have how many left? 2 what? What do I have 2 of? That's why. That's why you do it that way. Right? I have 3x squared minus 1x squared, which is 2x squared. And like I said, those of you guys are done and you guys know how to do it. Just you don't have to wait on me. Just keep working backwards and finish the problem. You don't need to wait on me if I'm explaining something to somebody. Don't waste time. So now we're going to factor this. 2x and x. Where does the 3 go? All right, and so 3 and 4 makes 1 if the 4 is positive and the 3 is negative. So from there, x equals what? 3 over 2, or x equals negative 2. Everybody good? What?
Why would the 2 be reaction?
Yep, that's right. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. As soon as you realize something, just stop and move on. All right, now listen. 36 is a hard factoring problem. I'm going to pause the video for about a minute and a half. I want to see who can do 36. Like I said, if you can factor 36, you are expert at factoring. All right? See if you can do it. Go. Give you about a minute. Now, tell me. Good.
It's 8x and 2x,
Hold on. 8x.
and then you put 27 on the left.
I don't think so. Because 27 and 8 doesn't make 66. Or 54 and 8. Sorry, if I did this, that's okay. 54 and 8. Right? Almost. What?
I think it's like 30.
What are you talking about? You think it's about 30?
What?
Tell me what to do. What
8x.
numbers?
30 and
No, listen. Come on now. You're killing me. The factors of 27.
oh, 3.
Yeah, where does that go?
Oh, 9
Yeah, come on now. Don't just say random things. Now, the reason why that's true is because 9 times 8 is what? 72. And 72 and 6, right? Plus, minus. There you go. Like I said, if you got that, or if you see that, all right, we're in good shape.
I see it.
All right? So now, x is equal to what?
3/8.
Or?
Negative 9/2.
Beautiful. 3/8 or negative 9/2. What?
We go around for
What?
We go around.
Stop. All right, number 34. What do I do?
X
So
and
I
X.
don't know if I did this right, but would it be x squared minus 49?
That's
equals 0?
exactly right. So I want everybody to go x squared minus 49 equals 0.
And then you would do x, parentheses x minus 7 and then parentheses x.
Good. And so x is equal to, now here's where I want you to write it shortcut, plus or minus 7.
X plus and
X equals plus or minus 7. Everybody good on that?
no.
All right, here we go. On number 32. Now, again, the factoring here is easy, but it's not set equal to 0. So listen, we always want to leave the x squared positive. Leave the x squared positive. So I need to move the 2x and the 24. So I have x squared minus 2x.
Minus 24 equals.
Yes, and now we're moving on because that's an easy one to factor. Come on, girls. All right, so now I'm going down to 30. See what's up with 30. All right, now this one, I need everybody to take a special note for. What do I need to do on this one?
It's a.
There is a what?
Would it be a like 2x?
Wait a minute. There is a GCF.
So
Every single time you ask yourself, is there a greatest common factor? To what? To A. So you have to pull out a 2A.
A minus 4.
And then the a minus 4.
And now?
2a equals 0 and then
Yeah, but if 2A equals 0, what does A equal?
0.
And then A equals 4. Now, the only thing is necessary here, guys, is you're supposed to put an or between there because it's one or the other. It's not both.
Oh wait, so if we didn't put or on the test,
I'm not going to just put or. What?
I'm a little bit confused on why would it be in the same box like A and like A minus 4? What does that mean?
Because remember, we said these were like little buckets. All right? There is a common 2A in each bucket. So this is 2A times A, and over here this is 2A times 4. So we're factoring out a 2A. There is a GCF involved.
I know that part, but like I thought that it would be in like 2 different parentheses.
No. GCF is not in 2 different parentheses. Factoring out a GCF is not in 2 different parentheses. Hey, sit down now. Come on. I'm trying to get finished as much as I can. Stop playing around. All right, now let's go back. 28. 28 is easy, so we're going to skip that one. 26 is what? Very simple. All right, it's the easy one because it's already factored for us and it's set equal to 0. The question is, how many solutions are there? 3 solutions. That's right. So the solution is 0 or x equals negative 1/4 or x equals 8/7. That's what we're talking about.
because the x is outside the parentheses.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Cheryl.
Here we go. Let's look at 24.
X equals.
Simple. I'm going down to 22. 22 is very easy. Now, 20, put a star by number 20. Somebody tell me how many solutions there are.
4.
4. Thank you very much. There are 4 solutions. Fundamental theorem of algebra. The exponent tells you how many solutions. All right, so now you have to do some factoring here. Yes, we're breaking it down into x squared. Thank you very much. So 2 sets of parentheses. Here we go. So I have x squared, 9 and 1,
Both negative.
both negative. Okay?
And they can break it down.
And then you have to break down x squared minus 9. All right, the x squared minus 9 breaks down to,
X plus 3, X minus 3.
good job.
I don't even want to know.
All right.
That's
All right. So now, so solution here. Now remember, x equals, I prefer that you write plus or minus 3
square.
or plus or minus 1. That's what we're looking at.
Hey.
No one knows. No one knows anymore with her.
All right, here we go. 18. Now on 18, put a little star by 18 again. There is a GCF here, but is a variable involved? 4.
No, it's 9.
So instead of factoring out the GCF, I just, come on, guys. Look, I'm ready to stop now and let's leave you on your own. I don't have a problem. I'm not fighting over it. We're supposed to divide by 4. Now, the only reason I'm asking you to divide by 4 because I'm dividing out the constants. You're dividing out the constants. All right? There are variables and there are constants. The constants are the numbers. The variables are the letters. All right? I didn't divide on, for example, question number 30. I didn't divide by 2a. All right? Because there was a variable involved.
I don't get that one.
All right? What? Listen.
No. I mean,
You can't tell the difference. Come on now. In number 30, there's a variable in the GCF.
Yeah.
There's an A involved in the GCF, correct? I didn't divide it out. Okay, I'm telling you, if you listen and keep your mouth quiet for a second. Over here, there's no variable involved in the GCF. So you just divide out the 4 because there's not a variable. That's why. All right, if you want to factor out a 4, go ahead and factor out the 4 the normal way. It wouldn't make a bit of difference, except you're going to write down 4 equals 0. All right? What?
well, would it be X minus 9?
No.
Or X squared?
Right? Yes, it's x squared minus 9 equals 0.
Okay.
And then X
Right.
and X.
And then you're factoring x squared minus 9, of course, into x plus 3 and x minus 3. So x could be plus or minus 3. Well, some of you still have work to do. All right, now I'm going to try to show you something else. 16 is another good one. All right, because we're going to factor by what? Factor by grouping. All right, we're going to factor by grouping. So the first one, all right, I can factor out an A. Thank you. When I factor out an A, I get x minus 4. Well, the next one I'm going to factor out a
Negative 3.
-3. Remember, when you factor out a -3, you change the signs. So this becomes x
Minus 1.
minus 4. Okay? And then x minus 4 times a minus 3. And so x could be 4 or a could be 3. Or a could be 3. Any issues? Yes, good.
How do you know to separate the A minus 3?
Because this is common.
Oh, I see.
The x minus 4 and x minus 4.
Sorry.
Very good. Nothing to be sorry. Let's go. All right, now, here we go. 14, all right? 14 is just a good review problem. All right, it's just like the last problem, except we have to factor out the what?
Negative.
You have to factor out a negative. When you factor out the negative this time, it should be pretty simple for you to do that. This would be 3x, and then x minus 7 plus 2 times x minus 7 equals 0. So x minus 7 times 3x plus 2, and then x equals 7, or x equals negative 2/3. Yes,
What if the 2/3 have to be positive? Because if you move the 2 over.
it becomes.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I wrote-
All right. Now, 12, basic factoring problem. Shouldn't be hard for you. 10 should be pretty easy for you. And now, look at number 8. All right, notice again, I'm trying to emphasize, right? There's no variable involved in the GCF. If there's no variable involved in the GCF, you can just divide out the common factor. In this case, the common factor is 3. So when I divide out the 3, you end up with x squared
Plus 11x plus 10.
equals 0, because 0 divided by 3 is still 0. All right?
And it's 10 and 1.
Yep. And now when you're factoring that, that would be x plus 10, x plus 1.
X equals 10. Or negative 10.
That is correct. And so x could be negative 10, or x could be negative 1. All right. Now, 6 should be pretty easy. 4 should be pretty easy. All right. And number 2 is not that bad either. All right. Now, your job for the rest of the period is try to get that or finish up the rest of the evens. All right, finish up the rest of the evens. Now, for those of you guys who are a little motivated, there are, I already did post the review, and it's got 3 columns on it. Column 1 will be for the first algebra class, column 2 will be for the second, and column 3 will be for the third. All right, then all of those solutions will be posted. All right. Will somebody check on Classroom? I'm not sure if I posted all of these solutions yet.
I don't think you did.
Double check for me. And if I didn't, I'll post them right now. Are the solutions to this? Yes, no?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, so I'll need to post that right now.